Dog meat is finally banned in Korea as tourists reveal what it really tastes like. Dog meat has finally been banned in South Korea. The upsetting centuries-old tradition was brought to an end with the passing of a bill in January.
The fucking tabs, you psychopath.
Is it bad to be attracted to a cartoon fox that you don't even know that?
This dog news is pretty old news. It says August 15th, 2024. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about. This is a day old. Passing of a bill in January that banned the breeding or slaughter of dogs in dog farms and the distribution of dog meat. It finally went into effect on August 7th. The industry had previously seen hundreds of thousands of dogs reared and slaughtered in South Korea each year. Over the past 2 years, dog meat has been falling out of favor at a rapid pace as dog ownership skyrocketed. I might not like dogs, but I don't think they deserve to get eaten. They are pretty good boys as long as they're not near me. You really hope cat meat is banned as well? Agreed. Agreed. They should both be banned. Evil Mandrake, thank you for 5. Guy who pointed up to test the decent candle company that seemed scammy. 10 business days later, no shipping confirmation. Will update if that changes. Oh, shit. I'm looking forward to your updates. Efforts to shut down the dog meat industry then picked up momentum last year as both major political parties in South Korea introduced bills to end the practice, supported by high-profile figures including First Lady Kim Kyung-hee. The South Korean government is now focusing on compensating the 5,600 businesses in the dog meat industry. Why would they do that? Why would they compensate them? Including 1,500 farms, 200 restaurants, my brain short-circuited, and shops that are on the verge of shutdown. I mean, good, right? Like, if they were dog meat shops, fucking let them shut down. Why would you government subsidize them? As the same, like, in America, if a company's going under, why would you government subsidize it? Fucking let the market take its course, man. It's time to replace the barbaric practice of eating dog meat with eating North Korean human meat. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? The government will make up for the cost of equipment loss and renovation costs, as well as monetary packages for meat distributors or restaurant owners before the ban fully goes into effect in February 2027. So the ban is partially in effect as of August 7th, but it doesn't fully go into effect until 2027. What does that mean? What did they mean by this? Dog farmers will also be reimbursed for demolition costs and receive extra monetary compensation, whose amounts will be determined by the government at a later date. I think it's one thing if a company goes under due to natural causes, but because of the government's action, you think it's reasonable to compensate them? I don't know, right? Because, like, if you have a kebab shop and you're making kebabs out of human meat, but then you get shut down by the government because selling human meat's illegal, I don't think you should get compensation for that. Like, you know? It feels like it's going to be abused. Caramel the Rabbit person, thank you for the 5. Not sure if true, but all of the US SSNs got hacked. You hope you're wrong. You're not wrong. Unfortunately, you're correct. A lot of the US SSNs were also put out on data selling websites completely for free. But, like, what are we going to do about it? Right? Like, what? All you can really do is go, God damn, that sucks. It's time to get identity theft protection. Because, like, realistically, what can you do? It's not the same. It was legal to eat it before they made it illegal. I mean, maybe I'm just feeling a little bit more towards the puppers. I feel like they shouldn't get compensation because it's a barbaric practice. The shop was open while it was legal, and then the government changed the rules. I was just like, I don't know. Morality aside. I mean, I guess if we put aside morality entirely, if your shop is legal and doing something legal, and then the government makes it illegal, it would make sense for the government to then compensate you for what you now can no longer do. But then bringing emotion into it, damn, that's barbaric, and I don't care, and I don't want them to get compensation. If the US government made beef illegal, we should absolutely compensate the cattle farms for having to shut down. I feel like if the US government made beef illegal, it would finally encourage Americans to overthrow the government. They're probably compensating the cost of transitioning to a different product. I could understand that if they did that. You feel you as you would never eat dog, but different culture on said thought of food. It's still barbaric to me. But you make a good point, chat. Asia doesn't exactly like the West, where make it illegal immediately is more frowned upon, ostracized, and banned by legislation. And they make beer illegal. We didn't then. we had a lot of, like, illegal bootlegging processes. I mean, we ended up getting abolition not embedded in law. Reminder that beef is the healthiest meat, and anything saying otherwise is blatant propaganda with falsified studies. I love beef! DRT is king, thank you for the 10. Typically, if you ban an industry, the government will compensate them to stop them from going to the black market. It was legal to make dog meat, but the orders that were already paid for. I guess the black market is also a good example. You wouldn't want them turning to doing that. You also don't want the dog meat farms to fight too hard against banning their businesses so these laws can pass easier. You bring up good points, chat. You bring up good points. Nick Corcadillas, thank you for the €2. You hate worst Koreans so much it's unreal. Why? That dog has seen some shit. I know, he looks so fluffy. It looks so fluffy. Chat with the good points. Yeah, yes. Chat has the good. Chat smart. I'm tuned into the wrong stream. Look, don't worry. They'll do something dumb next week. It's a cycle. It's a cycle of chat smart, chat dumb, just like me. Chat reflects the streamer. Hot take, government did the SSN hack, was about to see a whole new protection business, just as a conspiracy theory, though. Ooh, boy. No, where did I leave off? Those in the dog farming industry looking to transition their business may also seek state funding to renovate their business facilities, as well as state-sponsored services such as consulting and training. Like, this would make sense after what you guys were saying. I feel like that would make sense to transition out of the dog meat industry. When the law is fully implemented in February 2027, anyone who butchers a dog for meat will face up to 3 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $23,000. That's pretty harsh. I guess that makes sense why it's taking multiple years to fully implement. Anyone who raises a dog for meat or sells dog meat could also be punished with up to 2 years in jail or a $15,000 fine. The message is clear for those relative few who still eat dog meat that at the end of South Korea's dog meat era is in sight, said Sang-Kyun Lee, Humane Society International and Korea's dog meat campaign manager. I understand that he's against dog meat, but that title is kind of funny. Yes, I am Korea's dog meat campaign manager. Help. A smith of 11 herbs and spices. Thank you, 5. Don't let chat gaslight you. Eating dogs is wrong. Screw the culture. Chat was looking at it from a complete, like, feelings removed position. Where, like, yes, Korea has recognized that it is barbaric to eat dogs, and thus they have made it illegal. But the places that were selling dogs, again, removing feelings and only thinking in a logical, like, business manner, in order to encourage those places to not go back to selling dog meat, either regularly or on a black market, the government is trying to give them incentive to turn their business into something else. One does not simply eat the Kirsche, it takes finesse. Think with your brain, not your fee-fees. Practically speaking, you can't just outlaw it and then expect there to be no issues. Yeah. No. The message, I already read that. Bloop. But still, some dog meat farmers are fighting back. In March, the Korean Association of Edible Dogs.
Oh my god.
What an interesting association! As opposed to inedible dogs.
I'm loving this.
Spider God, thank you for the dick biddies!
Toxic sluts.
Schizo theory, the feminist government started up a couple of dog farms before the legislation was pushed, and now gets to repay for all those new items they bought to launder government money. Interesting schizo theory. Why does that exist? That's a good question. The Korean Association of Edible Dogs, which represents farmers of some 1.5 million dogs, filed a constitutional complaint against the government, claiming the move breaches the freedom to choose an occupation and the freedom of food choice. The group in July also requested that the Board of Audit and Inspection look into alleged abuse of power to imperil dog farmers' livelihood. Now see, claiming the move breaches the freedom to choose an occupation and the freedom of food choices. While I understand where they're coming from, and I wouldn't want anyone in the US to be like, chicken is now illegal, cow is now illegal to eat, right? there comes a time where, like, your freedom of food choice in order to fit into, like, a functioning society, I guess, kind of means you need a bit of a kind of protection thing. Because, like, those tribes that eat people, that's their culture, right? Would we want those tribes to kind of come into modern society and then lobby the government that they should be able to continue to sacrifice people and then eat them? Why is there a white woman in the article? That's a good question, too. The EU would allow it. They did say now is the time for ethical cannibalism. Korea is literally a first world country already with these things going on. Yeah, that's why they're banning dog meat. That's why they're banning it. They recognize that it's barbaric. Could be worse. At least they haven't banned eating pussy. True. Not yet. If the elite can do it, then why can't we, they would say. That'd be a violation of human rights. That's different. Is it? Is it a violation of human rights if you practice ethical cannibalism? If you just get someone to say that they're okay with being cannibalized after death? They would probably be allowed to. The group in July also requested that the Board of Audit and Inspection look into alleged abuse of power to imperil dog farmers' livelihoods. Melanie Ferguson, a travel blogger from Vancouver, said she tried a venerable dog stew called a Bosentang while it was still available. Okay, that explains why there's a white woman here. In the meantime, black goat meat is experiencing a price hike in South Korea as a perceived alternative for dog eaters. I've never eaten any goat meat, so I don't know how transferable goat to dog is. And why is it gotta be specifically a black goat? Eating commies is my religion. I don't think I would want to eat commies. I might get food poisoning. Melanie Ferguson, a travel blogger from Vancouver, said she tried a venerable dog stew called Bosentang while it was still available. It's probably the most controversial thing I've done after the bill was first passed. When I lived in South Korea, my old friends would often chide me with an Asian stereotype. Have you eaten cat yet? They would ask. No, come on, I would reply. They don't eat cat here. Koreans eat dog. And so I did too. She said she chose Bosentang because it is revered as a source of vitality during harsh winters or on the hottest of summer days. That's the meal I ate in Seoul just once by myself, as I couldn't convince anyone to join me. When it arrived at my table, I have to admit it looked good. After it cooled, I used my metal chopsticks to take my first bite. Ferguson described the taste as like beef, but with a dog smell to it. Ew, dogs smell terrible. It tasted good, too. Like beef, the meat was tender and stringy. I could smell dog, but it wasn't strong, and with the sense of other stew ingredients wafting to my nose. What's the big deal, I wondered, she said. I ate until I was full. It's paid propaganda. Was she paid to say this? Is cooked dog the same as wet dog? Why the emphasis on metal chopsticks? I don't know. Imagine eating something with dog smell. Damn! Dog is stringy meat. Japan has a deer problem. Perhaps there can be some overlap of supply and demand. Dogs do not taste like beef. What the fuck? How would you know? How would you know? The Korean Association of Edible Dogs paid her? Fucking probably. She's a paid shill, dude. Korea's known for using metal chopsticks. I mean, like, I've seen metal chopsticks. I know they exist, but, like, I don't know. It feels weird that they focused on them. I think there was an uprising if the rumored Trump sentencing happens. I mean, I hope so, but I feel like America's pretty browbeaten. It's gonna take a lot for people to get to the, hey, wait a minute, bucko! You have a set of metal chopsticks, pretty convenient. Deer chili with the taste of death still in the meat. I can't even remember the last time I ate a deer. Propaganda pushed by big dog. Not like this. Not the big dog lobby. Ah, no.